Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a lecture given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on May 6th, 2020 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The evening lecture was given on Narasimha Catudasi.
Mukhakaroti Pangurang Ayatayam Yaktipatavan Mande Sri Guru Vidatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Krishna Hari Om Tat Sat. Today is the auspicious day of Narasimha Catudasi.
So today is the auspicious day of Narasimha Catudasi.
Today, some years ago, the Lord appeared on this tithi.
Today, some yugas ago, the Lord appeared on this tithi.
And He saved the life of His devotee Prahlad.
And He saved the life of His devotee Prahlad.
In this recent pastime, which is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
In this recent pastime, which is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
the Lord came out of a column,
the Lord came out of the column,
fulfilling Prahlad's statement that the Lord is everywhere.
fulfilling Prahlad's statement that the Lord is everywhere.
And then He fought with the demon Hiranyakashipu
And then He fought with the demon Hiranyakashipu
until the twilight,
until the twilight,
because he had boon from Brahma that would not be killed in the day or the night.
because he had the boon from Brahma that he will not be killed during the day or the night.
So once the sun set, it was no longer day.
So once the sun set, it was no longer day.
But it was not yet really night because it was still light.
But it was not yet really night because it was still light.
So at that time, Lord Narasimha liberated the demon Hiranyakashipu.
So at that time, Lord Narasimhadev liberated the demon Hiranyakashipu.
In one of the Puranas, there's a description that Lord Narasimhadev
In one of the Puranas, there is a description that Lord Narasimhadev
came in another kalpa,
came in another kalpa,
day of Brahma.
another day of Brahma.
And that then Hiranyakashipu threatened his son that if their God doesn't show up by sunset,
And Hiranyakashipu threatened his son that if your God doesn't show up by sunset,
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
So at that time, he didn't have the boon that he would be killed in or out.
At that time, he didn't have the boon that he cannot be killed in or out.
But in our kalpa, he had the boon.
But in our kalpa, he had that boon.
So Lord Narasimhadev bifurcated him in the doorway. Narasimhadev killed him in the doorway.
Narasimhadev killed him in the doorway.
And it was not in or out.
He was not in or out.
He was in the doorway.
He was in the doorway,
Neither in or out.
neither in nor out.
But he didn't have such a boon in the previous yuga.
But he didn't have such a boon in the previous yuga.
So the Lord came to the city of Hiranyakashipu.
So the Lord came to the city of Hiranyakashipu.
And he got frightened. Oh, what is this? Half man, half lion. The people got frightened.
The people got frightened by seeing this half man, half lion.
And then he entered into the stadium of Hiranyakashipu.
And he entered into the stadium of Hiranyakashipu.
He had a big stadium.
He had a big stadium.
I mean, like, I forget how it was like 100 kilometers long and 50 wide. Or something.
100 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide or something.
And air conditioned.
And it was air conditioned.
And on the side there was all food to enjoy with.
And on the sides there were food that they could enjoy.
And they were worshipping Hiranyakashipu.
And they were worshipping Hiranyakashipu.
Oh, Hiranyakashipu, he died.
Hiranyakashipu ki jai.
So he was being worshipped by huge hordes of people.
So he was being worshipped by huge hordes of people.
Then Narasimha came flying in his stadium.
And Narasimhadev came flying in his stadium.
And he said, no beast allowed.
And they said, no beasts allowed.
He said,
And he said, no beasts allowed.
but Narasimha, he didn't stop.
But Narasimhadev, he didn't stop.
And then he sent out his Air Force.
And
Yeah. Yes.
then he sent off his
Air Force.
Air Force.
Planes came to attack Narasimha.
Then his Air Force went to attack Narasimhadev.
And Narasimha, since he had the head of a lion,
But Narasimhadev, since he had the head of a lion,
his cat-like whiskers went out.
his cat-like whiskers went out.
His mane went out.
His mane went out.
And the airplanes, when they hit one of his hairs,
And the airplanes, when they hit one of those hairs,
exploded.
they exploded.
Boom, boom, boom. Hiranyakashipu lost his Air Force.
And Hiranyakashipu lost his Air Force.
And he started sending out missiles.
And then he started sending out missiles.
But Narasimha caught the missiles, threw them down.
But Narasimhadev caught the missiles and threw them down.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
And then Hiranyakashipu used all his missiles up.
And then Hiranyakashipu, he used up all his missiles.
And he took a sword in his hand.
Then he took a sword in his hand
He decided he would personally fight
and decided that he would personally fight
with this half man, half lion.
with this half man, half lion.
He took his sword and he went up
He took a sword and he went up
and started to fight with Narasimha.
and he started to fight with Narasimhadev.
But Narasimha and him, they were fighting. And then just at the twilight,
And Narasimhadev and him, they were fighting, and just at the twilight,
he sat on Hiranyakashipu's throne
he sat on Hiranyakashipu's throne
and bifurcated Hiranyakashipu
and bifurcated Hiranyakashipu
with his nails.
with his nails.
So, this guy was seated on the throne of Hiranyakashipu.
And this way he was seated on the throne of Hiranyakashipu.
All the demons came to attack him,
All the demons came to attack him,
but they were defeated.
but they were defeated.
So then, all the devas, they were afraid to approach Hiranyakashipu. Narasimha he seemed so angry.
And all the devas, they came and they were very afraid of Narasimha Dev because he seemed so angry.
Even Lakshmi was afraid to approach him,
Even Lakshmi Devi was afraid to approach him,
although she's his wife.
although she is his wife.
But she never could see him so angry.
But she never saw him so angry.
Then Brahma pushed Prahlad forward.
So then Brahma pushed Prahlad forward.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Because of you, the Lord has come.
Because of you, the Lord is angry. Because of you, the Lord has come.
You should go and pacify him.
So you should go and pacify him.
And Prahlad went and offered his obeisances and his
So then
prayers to
Prahlad
Narasimha.
went and offered his obeisances and prayers to Narasimha Dev.
Also, 2 days ago we were discussing how Lord Chaitanya
And also 2 days ago we were discussing how Lord Chaitanya
took the mood of Narasimha.
took the mood of Narasimha Dev.
Since Lord Chaitanya is Krishna,
Since Lord Chaitanya is Krishna,
he is the source of all the avatars.
he is the source of all the avatars.
He is the source of all the incarnations of Godhead.
He is the source of all the incarnations of Godhead.
So when he heard the Vishnu Sahasranam,
So when he heard the Vishnu Sahasranam,
when he came up to the name of Narasimha,
they came up to the name of Narasimha Dev.
he got in the mood of Narasimha
He got into the mood of Narasimha Dev
and ran out on the street with a form like Narasimha,
and ran out on the streets with a form like Narasimha Dev,
a big club in his hands.
with a big club in his hands.
Where are the demons?
Where are the demons?
Where are the demons?
Where are the demons?
People start running.
People started running.
They're so afraid of Lord Chaitanya.
They were so afraid of Lord Chaitanya,
A big club in that angry mood.
with a big club and very angry mood.
And when he saw the people running, he returned to his normal, merciful consciousness.
So when he saw the people running, he returned to his normal, merciful consciousness.
And back to the house of Jayapataka.
And he went back to the house of Srivas Thakur.
What have I done? Have I committed a great offense?
And then he asked, have I committed a great offense?
All the people are running.
All the people were running.
I'm not right to give fear to the people.
It's not right to give fear to the people.
But Jayapataka said that by seeing you, they were
But Srivas Thakur said that by seeing you
in the mood of Narasimha,
in the mood of Narasimha Dev,
they were liberated.
they were liberated.
You can liberate people from unlimited sins and countless
You can liberate people from unlimited sins
offenses.
and countless offenses.
By seeing you, they all were liberated.
So by seeing you, they all were liberated.
You cannot commit any offense.
You cannot commit any offense.
Then he worshipped Lord Gauranga.
Then he worshipped Lord Gauranga.
So, in Mayapur, our Narasimha is in that mood. He's a stunning Narasimha. He just
So in Mayapur, the Narasimhadev we have is in the mood of Sthanu Narasimha.
He just came out of the column.
He just came out of the column
He's looking for the demons.
and he is looking for the demons.
Lord Chaitanya was in that mood.
Lord Chaitanya was in that mood.
Where are the demons? Where are the demons?
Where are the demons? Where are the demons?
So, this Narasimha that we have is in the same mood as Lord Chaitanya when he took the form of Narasimha.
So this Narasimhadev that we have is in the same mood as that mood when Chaitanya took the mood of Narasimhadev.
So we have a great benediction to be able to serve the Lord Narasimhadev.
So we have a great benediction to be able to serve Narasimhadev.
And we hope that by His mercy,
And we hope that by His mercy,
people who are suffering in this pandemic
people who are suffering in this pandemic
may take to Bhakti Yoga and be free of the suffering.
may take to Bhakti Yoga and be free of their suffering.
If they chant the holy name of the Lord,
That they chant the holy name of the Lord
then I would bring about a dynamic change.
and bring about a dynamic change.
In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it quotes one of the Puranas
In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it quotes one of the Puranas
that by chanting the name of Lord Narasimhadev
that by chanting the name of Lord Narasimhadev
21 times,
21 times,
one can get freed from even karma of killing a Brahmana.
one can get freed from the karma of even killing a Brahmana.
So, we chant the name of Narasimhadev
So we chant the name of Narasimhadev
and pray for his mercy.
and pray for his mercy.
Actually, Krishna, he took this form
Actually, Krishna, he took this form
just to protect his devotee.
just to protect his devotee.
A South Indian Pandit,
A South Indian Pandit,
he was lecturing, why does Lord Narayana always carry his weapons? Even when he's in Yoga Nidra, he carries his weapon.
he was asking or lecturing?
Lecturing.
One South Indian Pandit, he was lecturing. Why does Lord Narayana always carry his weapons? Even during Yoga Nidra, he carries his weapons.
Normally people, they would put down their weapon when they rest.
Normally, people, they put down their weapons when they rest.
But he keeps his weapon always. Why is that?
But he keeps his weapons always. Why is that?
It's because at any time
He said because at any time
he promises to protect his devotee.
he promises to protect his devotees.
And many bhakta pranashti.
Name bhakta pranashyati.
So you don't want to look for his weapons.
So
At
you
that
don't want to
time.
look for his weapons.
He has them there really to protect his devotee. He has his weapon, immediately protects the devotee.
He has his weapons, he immediately will protect his devotees.
Haribol.
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 Hari Haribol.
So, today is the auspicious day when Narasimhadev appeared in the world.
So today is the auspicious day when Narasimhadev appeared in the world.
Also, Lord Narasimhadev was flying over the earth.
Also, Lord Narasimhadev was flying over the earth.
I saw, that this is my holy dham of Navadvip.
And he saw that this is my holy dham of Navadvip.
And the Kali I come here as the golden avatar.
In the age of Kali, I come here as a golden avatar.
So then he landed in Narasimha. He landed in Navadvip.
He landed in Navadvip Dham,
And that place is known as Narasimha Pali.
and that place is known as Narasimha Palli.
And there the Devas, they also came down from the heavenly planets
And there the Devas, they also came down from the heavenly planets
with their wives.
with their wives.
And they began to serve the Lord.
And they began to serve the Lord.
The wives were cooking for the Lord.
The wives were cooking for the Lord.
They were offering puja to the Lord. They were offering puja.
They were offering puja to the Lord.
And normally, Lord Narasimha, he was not so approachable.
Normally, Lord Narasimhadev, he was not so approachable.
But in Navadvip Dham, because this is the Adaya Dham, the Dham of mercy,
But in Navadvip Dham, because this is Audarya Dham, the Dham of mercy,
he became very approachable.
he became very approachable.
The Devas, the demigods, and the angels from the heavenly planets,
So the demigods and the devas and the angels from the heavenly planets,
they descended and worshipped him and served him.
they descended and worshipped him and served him.
So, this is the glories of Navadvip Dham.
So this is the glories of Navadvip Dham.
We still have a Narasimha deity at Narasimha Pali.
We still have a Narasimha deity at Narasimha Palli.
And there's a lake, and the Lord washed his hands in the lake.
And there is a lake, and the Lord washed his hands in that lake.
So, actually, today,
So actually today,
Catudasi, I usually get some prasada from that temple.
Narasimha Chaturdashi, I usually get some prasadam from the temple.
Because of lockdown, they probably couldn't do it. Because of lockdown, they probably couldn't do it.
Because of lockdown, they probably couldn't send it.
So, for us, since we have the same deity, it's a very special day.
Because we have a Narasimhadev deity, this is a very special day.
And by his mercy, we are protected
And by
in
his
so many
mercy,
ways.
and by his mercy, we are protected
In so many ways.
in so many ways.
So we hope that all the devotees will also be very careful to protect their devotional creeper.
So we hope that all the devotees will also be very careful to protect their devotional creeper.
In the material world, one can easily forget to do devotional service.
In the material world, one can very easily forget to do devotional service
And think that the mundane happiness is the goal of life.
and think that mundane happiness is the goal of life.
But actually serving the Lord is one intense spiritual ecstasy.
But actually serving the Lord gives one intense spiritual ecstasy.
And that should be the happiness that we're hankering for.
And that should be the happiness that we are hankering for.
On the single day, is a special avatar of Lord Krishna.
So Narasimhadev is a special avatar of Lord Krishna.
He protects his devotees.
He protects his devotees.
And it's very common that people worship Lord Narasimha.
And it is very common that people worship Narasimhadev.
And Lord Chaitanya was lost in the ocean of the Bay of Bengal.
When Lord Chaitanya was lost in the ocean of the Bay of Bengal,
Near to Jagannath Puri.
near to Jagannath Puri,
At that time, a fisherman caught Lord Chaitanya in his net.
At that time, a fisherman caught Lord Chaitanya in his net.
At that time, Lord Chaitanya, his bones were dislocated,
At that time, Lord Chaitanya, his bones were dislocated,
and he was like 9 or 10 feet long.
and he was like 9 or 10 feet long.
And when the fisherman touched him,
And when the fisherman touched him,
he felt ecstasy.
and he felt ecstasy,
But he was chanting the name of Narasimha
but he was chanting the name of Narasimhadev
to get protection.
to get protected.
But that made him more ecstatic.
But that made him more ecstatic.
So then he came back to the shore.
So then he came back to the shore
He was saying, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
and was saying,
Haribol!
Haribol, Haribol.
And so Damodar, he asked him, have you seen Lord Chaitanya? He said, no, Haribol. No, I
So
haven't
Swarup
seen-
Damodar asked, have you seen Lord Chaitanya?
Haribol.
Haribol.
No,
No.
I've been possessed by a ghost.
I have
Haribol.
been possessed by a ghost. Haribol.
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 So Damodar said, I know how to release you from a ghost.
So Swarup Damodar said, I know how to release you from the ghost.
Stand still.
Stand still.
Blah, blah, blah. Slapped him 3 times.
Then he slapped him.
Okay, now ghost is gone.
And then the ghost is gone.
So, where is this ghost?
So where is this ghost?
He said it's there in the net.
And then he said that it is there in my net.
So then they saw Lord Chaitanya in his net.
So then they saw Lord Chaitanya in his net.
They put the cloth on the ground
They put a cloth on the ground
and they put Lord Chaitanya on the cloth,
and they put Lord Chaitanya on the cloth
washed him.
and washed him.
Then they chanted Hare Krishna in his ear,
And then they chanted Hare Krishna in his ear.
and his bones came back together.
And then his bones came back together.
And they came into external consciousness.
And then he came into external consciousness.
So that fisherman was chanting the name of Narasimha.
So that fisherman, he was chanting the name of Narasimhadev.
But then, the more he chanted, the more ecstatic he became.
But then the more he chanted, the more ecstatic he became.
So, the other devotees asked, so Damodar, how did you know that he had Lord Chaitanya?
So the other devotees, they asked Swarup Damodar, how do you know that he had Lord Chaitanya?
He said he was possessed by a ghost.
He said he was possessed by a ghost.
He would chant the name of Hari.
But then he was chanting the name of Hari.
You can't chant the name of Hari while you're possessed by a ghost.
You cannot chant the name of Hari while you're possessed by a ghost.
So I knew he was not a ghost.
So I knew it was not a ghost.
I just slapped him to make him peaceful.
I just slapped him to make him peaceful.
So, as soon as he is worshipped by many people,
So Narasimhadev, he is worshipped by many people.
and Narasimhadev is very merciful
And Narasimhadev is very merciful
to his devotees.
to his devotees.
Very fearsome for the demons.
But he is fearsome for the demons.
So, he prayed at his lotus feet, prayed at the feet of Prahlad Maharaj.
So we pray at his lotus feet and we pray at the feet of Prahlad Maharaj,
We can always expand the number of devotees,
that we can always expand the number of devotees
and worship his lotus feet.
and worship his lotus feet.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Are there any questions? Yeah.
Are there any questions?
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Prahlad Maharaj was always thinking of Krishna, but Krishna appeared in front of him as Narasimhadev. So, in which loka Prahlad Maharaj stays after his disappearance? Someone said that Narasimha Dev has his own loka at spiritual world. Guru Das.
And Narasimhadev has his own loka in the spiritual world.
Narasimhadev has his own loka in the spiritual world.
But since Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj,
And since Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj,
and since Bali Maharaj gave the whole world in charity
and
to
since
Vamanadev,
and since Bali Maharaj gave the whole world in charity to Vamanadev
in the form of 3 steps,
in the form of 3 steps,
I took the whole universe in 2 steps.
he took the whole universe in 2 steps.
And he asked where to put the 3rd step.
And then he asked, where can I put the 3rd step?
So Bali Maharaj said, on my head.
So Bali Maharaj said, on my head.
So then he arrested Bali Maharaj because he couldn't fulfill his promise.
So then
He arrested.
they arrested Bali Maharaj because he couldn't keep his promise.
And later he agreed that Bali Maharaj stayed in the -3 level below the earth.
So then they agreed that Bali Maharaj can stay in the -3 level below the earth.
That's called the Sutala.
And that is called the Sutala.
So there the Lord said that he would be the gatekeeper of Bali Maharaj,
So there the Lord said that he would be the gatekeeper of Bali Maharaj.
and that no one could attack him,
And that no one could attack him,
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
So I think Prahlad is on the same planet
So I think Prahlad is on the same planet
at the present time.
at the present time.
But maybe later he goes to the spiritual world.
Maybe later he goes to the spiritual world.
I will.
Haribol.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. How do we understand, by what signs, that a devotee went to the spiritual world after leaving his or her body? Your daughter, servant daughter, Nateshwari Radha Devidasi, Moscow, Russia.
Well, if one chants Krishna at the time of leaving, then you're sure.
Well, if one chants Krishna at the time of leaving, then you're sure.
But depending on their service, one can understand that whether they are qualified to enter the spiritual world.
Mainly by their service.
If one can understand from their life work,
One can understand by their life if one is qualified or not.
Prabhupada, he could tell.
Prabhupada, he could tell.
He said Jayananda went back to Godhead.
He said Jayananda went back to Godhead.
So that's, I sure think.
So that's the actual thing.
And we can see that some devotees,
We can see that some devotees,
by their taking shelter of the holy name,
by their taking shelter of the holy name,
they go back to Godhead.
they go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj Pamho, Guru Maharaj, এখন এই কোভিড-19 প্যাথেটিক সিচুয়েশনে পার্সোনালি অনেকে প্রসাদম অর্থাৎ খিচুড়ি ইত্যাদি ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন করছেন। তো একাদশীর দিনে বা নরসিংহ চতুর্দশীতে এরকম গ্রেইন প্রসাদম ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন করা কি ঠিক, বা কেউ করলে কি তার পাপ হবে? কৃপাপূর্বক আমার কনফিউশন দূর করবেন। ইউর সার্ভেন্ট ভাবময়ী মালিনী ভক্তি দেবী দাসী, হায়দ্রাবাদ, তেলেঙ্গানা।
We distributed khichdi on the Gaur Purnima day.
We distributed khichdi on the Gaur Purnima day.
Prabhupada said it was all right.
Prabhupada said it was all right.
You see, for the devotees, they were fasting anyway.
You see, for the devotees, they were fasting anyways,
Till sunset
till sunset
or moonrise.
or moonrise.
So, if the people are not devotees,
So if the people are not devotees,
then they can take prasad,
better they take prasad,
and that will give them some spiritual benefit.
and that way we can give them some spiritual benefit.
So otherwise they'll eat non-veg or something at the road stalls,
Otherwise, they'll eat non-veg or something
at the stalls, outside stalls.
at the outside stalls.
So for the devotees, they would observe fast today,
So for the devotees, they would observe fast today.
but the normal villagers, they don't observe fast.
But the normal villagers, they don't observe fast.
So we give out khichdi.
So we can give out khichdi.
If someone is wanting to follow, they can keep the khichdi until the evening and take it at dark.
If someone is willing to follow, they can keep the khichdi and take it for dinner.
But mostly the people don't follow, so
But mostly the people don't follow.
I requested the devotees to go out, and they said that
I requested the devotees to go out, and they said that
since it was a fast day, they wouldn't have enough strength.
since it was a fast day, they wouldn't have enough strength.
I told them that they could take some fruit or anakalpa afternoon,
So I told them to take some fruit or anukalpa in the afternoon,
and go out and distribute the prasada.
and then go out and distribute the prasadam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any question?
Any other questions?
গুরু মহারাজ,
Yes,
অনেক বাধা পাওয়ার পরেও
yes.
কিভাবে ধীরভাবে প্রচার করব? আর যদি কেউ অকারণে ভুল বোঝে তাহলে কি আমার অপরাধ হবে? ওয়ান কোয়েশ্চন ইজ, অনেক বাধা পাওয়ার পরেও কিভাবে ধীরভাবে প্রচার করব?
If one has after many obstacles, how can one still preach?
After one has many obstacles, how can one still preach?
And you see, obstacles we expect in the material world.
These obstacles we expect in the material world.
And if there are no obstacles, that would be, we have less service.
And if there were no obstacles, then we would have less service.
So, if there are obstacles, then we still try to give Krishna,
And if there are obstacles, we still try to get Krishna,
to give Krishna.
to give Krishna.
And it's in the obstacles that when the going gets rough, the tough get going.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
So if one's flaky, then that's there's some obstacle. They lose their determination.
So if one's faking and they face some obstacle, they lose their determination.
But if one's tough,
But if one is tough,
obstacle, so what?
obstacle, so what?
When Nityananda was beaten by Madai,
Lord Nityananda was beaten by Madai.
blood was pouring from his forehead.
Blood was pouring from his forehead.
It's because you caused me to bleed. Does that mean I won't give you love of Godhead?
Just because you caused me to bleed, does that mean I won't give you love of Godhead?
So, if there's obstacles or no obstacles,
So if there are obstacles or no obstacles,
they still are determined to give out Krishna.
we still are determined to give out Krishna.
And if there were no obstacles, then Krishna wouldn't say that those who preach are the dearest to him in this world.
If there were no obstacles, then Krishna wouldn't say that those who preach are the dearest to me.
Because the devotees face obstacles,
Because the devotees face obstacles,
therefore Krishna is very appreciative
therefore Krishna is very appreciative
of the devotees
of the devotees
who are spreading Krishna consciousness.
who are spreading Krishna consciousness.
And where it's more difficult, then Krishna gives more mercy.
And when it gets difficult, Krishna gives more mercy.
Where it is more difficult,
And where it is more difficult, Krishna gives mercy,
more mercy.
more mercy.
Guru Maharaj, another question.
হ্যাঁ
আরেকটা বাংলা কোয়েশ্চেন আছে।
বাংলা
হ্যাঁ, একই ব্যক্তির।
আগে
যদি কেউ অকারণে ভুল বোঝে তাহলে কি আমার অপরাধ হবে? যদি কেউ অকারণে ভুল বোঝে তাহলে কি আমার অপরাধ হবে?
কি অকারণে
অকারণে অকারণে
if someone misunderstands, am I guilty of an offense?
If someone misunderstands, am I guilty of offense?
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem like it.
But you should try to explain to the person so that they get the correct understanding.
But you should try properly explain to the person so they get the correct understanding.
You may not have explained it tattva so clearly, so
You may not have explained the tattva so clearly,
the person misunderstood.
so the person misunderstood.
Then he should try to dispel the person's misunderstanding.
But then you should try to dispel the person's misunderstanding.
And this way, the person will be very grateful.
In this way, the person will be very grateful.
So, I went to one office once in the early 1970s. I went to an office.
I went to an office once in the early 1970s.
I was in Calcutta preaching life membership.
I was in Calcutta preaching life membership.
And the person started yelling at me.
And the person started yelling at
You
me.
are cheaters! I don't believe this.
You are cheaters. I don't believe this.
And it went on like for 5 minutes blasting me.
And then he went on for like 5 minutes blasting me.
I said, no sir, you're not right.
And then I said, no sir, you're not right.
Here we distribute prasadam.
Here we distribute prasadam.
I showed the pictures.
And then I showed the pictures.
And then very patiently I started explaining our activities.
And in that way, I basically started explaining him our activities.
And then he was surprised.
And then he was surprised.
He said, please forgive me.
And he said, please forgive me.
I was just testing you.
I was just testing you.
How much do you want?
How much do you want?
And he became a life member.
And he became a life member.
So, we meet such people,
So we meet such people.
and if we got, well, Lord Chaitanya said, we should be humble, like a blade of grass,
Lord Chaitanya said that we should be humble as a blade of grass.
we should be tolerant more than a tree,
We should be tolerant more than a tree.
we should offer all respect to others.
We should offer all respects to others.
Don't expect any respect for yourself.
And don't expect any respect for yourself.
That happens a lot.
So that happens a lot.
People, they don't treat you nice.
People, they don't treat you nice.
You should treat them nice.
But you should treat them nice.
You be very humble and tolerant.
We should be very humble and tolerant.
And then you're surprised what happens. You'll be surprised.
And then you'll be surprised what happens.
Yeah. Last question. Question. Please accept our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet, Guru Maharaj. When Hiranyakashipu glorifies Brahma, he says that Brahma is the super soul of all beings. We read from Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna is the super soul. We see the same glorification of Lord Shiva also when he drank poison. Please help us understand this, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for nectarian classes and opportunity to ask questions. Your insignificant servant Lalitangi Radha Devi Dasi.
Hiranyakashipu glorified Brahma as the supreme person.
Hiranyakashipu glorified Brahma as the supreme person.
Hiranyakashipu is considered a demon.
Hiranyakashipu is considered a demon.
Now, having a demon recognize you as the supreme person,
So having a demon recognize you as the supreme person,
what is the use of that?
what is the use of that?
Prahlad Maharaj, he said Narasimha or Krishna is the supreme person.
Prahlad Maharaj, he said that Narasimha or Krishna is the supreme person.
His father, he said, accept Shiva or accept Brahma.
But his father said, accept Shiva or accept Brahma.
But both of them are Vaishnavas or devotees.
But
Brahma
both of
and
them are
Shiva.
Vaishnavas or devotees.
And so that a demon like Hiranyakashipu, naturally he says, anybody but Vishnu is God. Naturally a demon like Hiranyakashipu accepts anyone but Vishnu is God.
Naturally, a demon like Hiranyakashipu accepts anyone but Vishnu as God.
We know that Vishnu is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
But we know that Vishnu is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And Shiva himself was asked by Parvati, what is the best form of worship?
And Shiva himself was asked by Parvati, what is the best form of worship?
And he said, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Pratam Devi Tadihanam Samarchanam. Of all the types of worship,
Of all the types of worship,
worship of Lord Vishnu is supreme,
worship of Lord Vishnu is supreme.
with one exception.
But one exception.
Worshipping those connected to Vishnu is better yet.
Worshipping those who are connected to Vishnu is better.
So if you worship someone as a Vaishnava, like Prahlad,
So if you worship someone as a Vaishnava like Prahlad,
that pleases Lord Vishnu and Narasimha more.
that pleases Lord Vishnu or Narasimha more.
What she themselves says that the supreme form of worship is Vishnu.
But Shiva himself says that the supreme form of worship is Vishnu
or those connected to Vishnu.
or those connected to Vishnu.
So why should you have doubt?
So why we should have doubt?
Don't listen to Hiranyakashipu.
Don't listen to Hiranyakashipu.
He says he's God.
He says he is God.
And it tells Prahlad, worship me.
And then he told Prahlad, worship me.
Or some other pastime he may say, worship Lord Shiva.
And in some other pastime he said, worship Lord Shiva.
But Shiva himself says worship Vishnu.
But Shiva himself says worship Vishnu.
So who do you follow? Hiranyakashipu or Shiva?
So who do you follow, Hiranyakashipu or Shiva?
Thank you very much. And happy Narasimha Day Catudasi.
Thank you very much and happy Narasimha Catudasi. Hari Bol.
2 more days of Vaishak month, today and tomorrow.
It's 2 more days of Vaishak month, today and tomorrow.
And any donation made in Vaishak month gets 100 times the credit.
Any donations made in Vaishak month, it's 100 times the credit.
And if you send a donation to the TOVP,
and if you send the donation
today,
to TOVP,
I heard that Amrish Prabhu
I heard Amrish
will
Prabhu
match your donation.
will match your donation.
I mean, if you give $1,000,
So if you give $1,000,
he'll give 1,000.
he'll give 1,000.
I mean, 2,000.
He'll make it 2,000.
So you get spiritual credit
So you get spiritual credit
100 times
100 times
and material credit
and material credit
twice.
twice.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.